once again to the Azure MediZ Weekend Technical Series for this weekend. And this is a session number 7 in continuation to the series which we are having. So this particular session is based upon the understanding of the Azure storage accounts. Okay. So we will be discussing about the basic creation of the Azure storage account. Maybe many of you have already understood it, or someone are coming very new to this particular field. So, what is the agenda for today's session? Is that we will be having the session in such a manner so that even a person who is joining as a fresher here in this particular session can get the agenda for this cloud storage, right? How the storage works in the Azure storage, how this storage works in the Microsoft Azure cloud, right? So all those things we are going to discuss it today through the directly practical. So we are not going with the various slides. We are not going with the multiple approaches in a theoretical way, but we are trying to achieve the practical approach here instead of theoretical part. So those things are there. So let's start from the our discussion from the beginning. And one more thing which you need to understand is that Microsoft Azure storage is completely based upon how you are storing the things, okay? How you are storing the various aspects. So before I begin, may I know anyone is attending this session very new to this Azure, Microsoft Azure? Weekend technical series, or you have the basic idea about the cloud computing? Anyone is joining for the very first time? Can
This is
anyone?
my first time.
Okay.
Hello.
So you have,
Yes,
yeah,
first time.
yeah. So you have the idea about the cloud computing. You have the idea about the Microsoft
Yeah.
Azure, or it's completely you have that, right?
Yes, I have an idea about cloud computing, but little idea on Azure. So this is
Okay,
my
okay. No,
first time.
okay, no problem. So what we will be going to achieve in this today's session is that, so after the today's practical, you will be able to create a basic storage account at least. Okay. So one thing we need to understand here is that we are managing the storage. So let's suppose today in when we talk about the layman terms, okay, that in our houses or in our particular offices, we are using the pen drives, the hard disks, right, to store the data. We are using earlier we are using the floppy disk or CD-ROM, CD drive, right, to store the data. That we are talking about like previous few years. But after that, we are using the make use of pen drives, hard disk, all those things, right? Similarly, we are having this particular storage in the cloud that is we are accessing virtually. Okay, that we are accessing and creating virtually. So what does it mean virtually? Virtually means we cannot touch that. Okay, whenever we need to access our data, whenever we want to generate the reports, or whenever we want to try to do anything with the data, we are using this Microsoft Azure storage account. But guys, this is virtually. This is not a physical device which you can touch, which you can keep it in your bag and take it. No, it's a virtual. Okay, so that is the main power of this particular weekend series, that we are touching the very basics of the any concept. Okay, so I will directly go to the portal and I will show you how you can create the Azure storage account. So if you go here in this particular portal, so here guys, there is a one portal that is called as https portal.azure.com. Okay, so we are using this portal.azure.com to get our job done. Okay, so if you just see that if you have any idea about this Azure portal, so you would be able to see that how you will be able to see the resources over here, right? If you want to search anything, if you want to see anything, right? So you have this portal.azure.com. So its URL is based upon portal.azure.com. Okay. So now the main thing comes up how we are creating the storage account. Okay. So in a very simple words, so before I begin with this creation and all, guys, one thing which you need to understand here is that you should be having a valid subscription. You should be having a valid subscription. Okay. If you have the valid subscription, then only you will be able to create the resources, or you will be able to create the storage account. Just like you're getting an electricity bill at your house, right? At your home or at your office. Okay. So for that, you will be requiring some subscription. How to create the subscription, that is a part already covered in the another lecture or a session. You can watch that. But what our main agenda is that since we are going to create the storage account, so we need a basic subscription. Okay. So there are multiple free trial subscription available. So if you type here Azure subscription, if you just type on the Google and if you go to this, you can create your free trial account also. Okay. So for creating anything, we require a free trial account or pay as you go account, multiple things. Okay. So you can explore this particular link. There is a very good, even if you're a student, you can get a some USD 200 credit, Azure credit. You can start with the services always free. So those things you will be able to leverage upon. Okay. So what I will do, I will just copy this link and I will paste it in the description as well in the chat also. Okay. So I'm just pasting over here so that you can check that. So as I told guys, one thing which is very important. So if you are trying to create the any resources or any subscription, you will be requiring what? You will be requiring the subscription to create anything. That is a very simple words. In very simple words, I am telling you. Okay. So since I will go back to my portal, portal.azure.com. Okay. See, I'm back to my portal and I have a valid subscription, which I have verified it. Okay. So this is the basic credits you will be getting. So I am a Microsoft certified trainer. So I am getting this 10,876 credits monthly. So even if I utilize this credit every month, Microsoft is gonna credit this amount to my account. Okay. So uh, the link I have already pasted and I will provide in the description also. So now what I will do, I will just quickly go and type storage accounts. Okay. So if you type here the storage account, you can click on the storage account and you will be able to see that all the storage account which you have already created, all the storage account which you have already created. So in my under my subscription, you can see type of the service storage account, what kind we will be leaving. Don't stress out much on the kind. We will be talking about since this is a very basic session. So I am taking in a very basic way. Okay. I'm not going into the much depth of it because a couple of you are joining very new. Okay. So what I will do, I will show how to create the storage account. Okay. And it will be showing you under which resource group it will be belong. Okay. So it belongs to this particular resource. So guys, one thing as a very simple word, I am telling you, whenever you are creating any of the resource, that particular resource should belong to some particular storage account. Okay. So if I'm creating any resource, that resource should belongs to the store resource group. That is 100% sure. If I am creating any resources, anything whatsoever, everything we will be having and storing it in a particular box or a container, that is called as storage. That is called as resource. Okay. Which region it belongs to? Central. Okay. So I need to create a new storage account. What I will do, guys, I will click on here. I will click on create. So once I click on here, create, it will load my this particular page. Okay. So now what they will be requiring, they will be requiring some basic information. Let's suppose subscription. Okay. Now resource group. Resource group means let's suppose I just now I told you, right? You require a resource group. You require a logical container where you can keep the resources. So storage account is a resource. I need to store it under where? I need to store it under this. See, first is subscription. Then on the next hierarchy is our resource. And on the third level, our resource. That is my storage account. Okay. So what I will do, if I can use this particular resource group, or what I can do, I can click on new, and I can say here is that uh, Azure made easy. This is the name of the resource group I can give. You can give any name to your particular resource. Okay. So you can scroll it down, guys, and you can next is our storage account name. So storage account name is I can give Azure made easy STG. STG means storage account 01. The meaningful name I will give it. Okay. But guys, one more thing which you need to understand here is that let's suppose if you just give a very random name which is very general, right? So it will throw this error. It will throw this error. Why? Because the storage account name should be globally unique. The storage account name should be globally unique. Means under some other subscription also, under some other whatsoever in this whole world, like suppose I am having one subscription, you are having other subscription, and if you have given the name of storage account as a storage, then also I won't be able to create my name with the storage. Okay, so always remember this thing, means your storage account name should be globally unique. Okay, so in this case, what I will do, I will just type Azure Made Easy STG Storage 01. Okay, so in this case, I will be providing this detail. Now, guys, next, if I go down, there is something called as region. There is something called as region. So if you scroll, you see there are multiple regions available. Now, what do you mean by the region? Region means where this storage account is gonna create it virtually, where this storage account metadata will be present. So that you need to select from this list. So let's suppose I am selecting Central US, let's suppose, or even if you want to select other region, it is completely fine. Okay. So I am making it in the US. Okay. So I want to create the storage account in US. Okay. And what I am having these two tiers. Okay. So whenever you are going to the market or whenever you are purchasing anything on the online shopping, right? They will be asking you that, okay, you can get this performance under this much rupees. If you want some premium product, then you need to increase your prices. The same thing happen with your storage account as okay. So in this case, if you go with the standard one, you can go with the okay random like not very much expensive, but yes, you can get a good product. Okay. But if you want to go, if you this storage account is having very critical data or the data which is coming from the applications, right? So in that case, what you can choose it as a premium, but that will increase your price for sure. Okay. So you can see that premium account type is having some different types also. I'm not going to discuss about these things because there is no means of discussing right now, but I'm just showing you the basic creation. So if you want to go to the standard, see that line has been removed. Okay. So in the premium, you are getting additional feature to select your particular blobs, files, and all those things. Okay. But I'm going with the standard with the basic one. And guys, this is very important. They will be asking me to create a particular replication strategy, LRS, GRS, ZRS, GZRS. So these replication or redundancy, what does it mean? How your data will be copied in the data center. How your data will be copied in the data center. So in this case, I will be choosing a basic option of LRS. Okay. So LRS, you can choose it.
Sorry to interrupt you. Your
Yeah.
screen is not visible.
My screen is not visible. Is it with the
Yes.
others also? Right?
Yes, Rajat, it is visible.
We are good.
It's visible, right? Now
Yes, yes,
I'm
yes.
resharing. Yeah, I'm resharing it.
Hello.
Now, yeah, Shubham. Now you're able to see it.
No.
Maybe some network
Able to
issue.
see.
Maybe can you rejoin? Try to rejoin once. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Sure. Oh. So, so what I'm saying that in the meanwhile, you will be joining. So what I told that redundancy, replication means let's suppose I have stored the data in a particular place. How my data will be replicated or copied means I have stored something in. Let's suppose I have stored something in this PC in this C drive, right? So how this data will be replicated or copied to the other places also, that will be described under this replication. So I'm just choosing with the LRS option. Okay. And if I go here in the advanced tab, so here you can see that I have various advanced feature for my storage account. Okay. So what I will do, this is like basic how you can provide you the security to the storage account. Okay. If you have the particular transmitting of the data, let's suppose SSL or TLS, transport layer security, how you are going to provide the security to these accounts, right? So you will be able to select these versions. So I am not going to discuss it because right now you won't be able to understand since we haven't discussed about the different types of storage account. Okay. So advanced settings I am going as it is. Now I'm going to the networking. Okay. Which is very important aspect is that how you want this storage account to be accessible from the general public network or only from the selected public internet networks or IP address. You can see if I selected enable public access from the selected virtual networks. So in this case, you can select the particular virtual network under your subscription or under different subscription which is under your tenant. So what I'm saying that guys, please understand, if I selected enable public access from all the networks, a person sitting anywhere around the globe can access your storage account if they have the some particular request or keys. Okay. But if you want to restrict this network connectivity, what you want to choose it, you can click on the public access, enable public access from the selected virtual network. If you go down, then here under this tenant, so I am having one tenant, right? Microsoft Entra ID, I am having one tenant, right? So under that tenant, which is having all the subscription, let's suppose I am having different subscription also. They can also, if they want to get access to the storage account, yes, I can go ahead and select that subscription and select the respective storage account. Okay. So in this case, I am just choosing, and if you don't want to enable any public access or private access, then you can choose disable public access and private access. Okay. Then you can create the private endpoint and so on. But I am selecting enable public access, and what I am doing, I am going with the next tab. Okay. So guys, there are something in the what I can say, there is something in the data protection also. Data protection means how you gonna protect your data of the storage account. Okay. So there is a common name which you can see in the data protection for the storage account is something related to the soft delete. Something related to the soft delete. Now, what does it means? See, what I'm saying that if I'm entering any number, let's suppose 8. So it means that even I deleted some of the data today from this blob storage account. It is one of the type of the storage account. Okay. So you can understand, like, let's suppose I am deleting any data today from my storage account, then that data you can recover within next 8 days from the deletion. That is called as soft delete. Similarly, for any data present under the container, and if I type here 10, so it means that let's suppose today I'm deleting that data, and after the today, within the next 10 days, I can get my data back. Okay. So that is called as soft delete. See, soft delete for container, soft delete for blob, like that. Okay. If you go down, there is multiple things. Soft delete for file share. So whatever the data present under these, if you want to get it back, let's suppose today your colleague has deleted by mistakenly deleted that data, and if you want to get it back, so in that case, you can get it back with the help of how you can get it back by just enabling this option. But if my this option has not been enabled and I have deleted something from the file share, guys, so in that case, you won't be able to get your data back within next 8 days or whatever it is. Okay, means if it is deleted, then it is deleted until and unless you have enabled the backup or snapshot, those things. Is it clear to everyone? Am I clear? Got it? Okay. So these things are there. Now we have some tracking also. If you want to have the tracking of the data, if you want to have the various versioning, you can control it. Okay. But I'm not going in this advanced level. I am going with the encryption. So if you want to encrypt the data with the encryption keys and all, you can select this encryption. Okay. Now I am clicking on review plus create. So this will start validating it, the storage account. Okay. Let it be validated. So you can see that I have this storage account is will be going to be created, and you can see that I have these many settings enabled, and I can click on create. So it will initially deploy the data. It will initially deploy the data, and it will deploy the data over here. Okay. So this is what, guys. This is creating my storage account. This is creating my storage account. So guys, always remember one thing: until unless you get this page, deployment is in progress, do not remove this notification. Are you getting my point? I have created review plus create, and until unless you are not getting this option in the deployment in the notification that deployment is in progress, please do not close it. Okay. Otherwise, this deployment will be gone. Okay. So this is called as deployment is in progress. You can see this is deployment is in progress. Now, I will tell you one very interesting thing which you will be encountered in this interview. This question will be coming, might be coming to your interview. That so, guys, first of all, my storage account is completed. My storage account deployment is completed, and I can see my storage account here. You can see I will be able to see my storage account created successfully. But guys, one thing, how would I know when this storage account is created? How would I came to know that when this storage account or when any particular resource is created? Anyone have any idea about this answer? How I can say that a particular resource is created, when it is created, at what time? Anyone? No?
So there we
Okay.
can see created date, right?
Yes. There, no, this, okay. You can see here the created date, but uh, here, right? Created date. That is fine. But any another way through which we can see even from the 2 months back, 3 months back data also. So that
Something
way,
logs.
sorry, through
Logs.
where we can get that logs. My answer is how we can
Activity
get that.
logs. Activity logs we can get.
No,
Activity.
activity log is only valid for 90 days. Only valid for 90 days. I'm saying before 90 days.
Or we can
So
check in a resource group.
yes, absolutely correct. We can where we can check it in the resource. Where?
Resource group, there is one option called resource.
Sources. Yeah. No, but
Yeah,
it will be having uh, the resource for the particular resources only, right? But I want to see all the resources which is belong to this resource group. How I can check that? When it means what my
For
question is,
deployment.
through
Under
yes,
deployment.
yes, under deploy. You can see that even if it is created 90 days back also, 180 days back also, I will be able to see. And how much it has been taken during its deployment, what is the last modified time, what is the status also, and if I want to get the deployment also, I can get this particular deployment page also. Okay, so always remember that whenever you want to get the data about its creation or its modification also, you will be able to see it from here. Okay, now I will quick so I hope everyone got it, how we can create it and how we can get the creation. Okay, so there is nothing that I'm a fresher, I don't know anything about it, or I know many of the things. The agenda of this session is to, even if the fresher person also can learn to create. Okay, now second is, my next thing is that I will quickly upload the data and I will show you how to access it. Okay, so I can so there are four different ways, four different parts where you can upload the data. So guys, what I did, even if you are at home, this particular page, you can come to the storage account, or you can type the storage account. Okay, just click on the storage accounts. See, our storage account is there, Azure MediZ. Click on that. Okay, scroll to the down. There is something called as containers. Okay, so containers is the place where we can store our blobs data. Now, sir, what is blobs? Blob stands for binary large object. If so, Microsoft say that, let's suppose you want to store some images, audio, video files, some clips, some Instagram reels or some videos, whatever it is, right? You can store those data under this particular container. Okay, some random data, some which is not having some any structure, right? Those data can be stored under the container. So first of all, you need to create a container. So I can say container 01. Okay, and here you can see this, the access level is set to private because anonymous access is disabled on this storage account. Okay, so no worries, I will create the container. I can click on create. Okay, so you can see that I have created the container. You can click on this container 01, and if I want to upload any, if I want to store any particular videos, clips, your images, I can click on this upload and I can upload the particular data. Let's suppose I will be coming to this pictures, to this screenshot. Okay, I would say, okay, I am uploading this screenshot 7 to my container. Okay, click on upload. So this is how I am creating and uploading my storage block. You can see I have one data in my storage account, and that is a random data. That is a kind of a image which I have uploaded. Okay. Now, guys, the question comes here: how you are going to access it? How you are going to access it? So you can click on this storage, this particular image, and there is an option called URL. See URL. So if I copy this URL and let's see what is there in this URL. It's very interesting to know. See, I have the HTTPS hypertext transfer protocol just the way other URL begins, right? Next, my storage account name, correct? This is my storage account name, Azure MedEasy STG01 dot blob binary. Means now what you need to understand here is my data is a kind of a blob. It is present in the blob storage account only, right? Containers means blob storage account data. So I will be typing. So what is there? I am having my storage account name dot blob. What do you mean by the blob? Blob means binary large object. Means by this location. Which location? This container location. Okay. .core.windows.net is a suffix of the storage account. .core.windows.net .core.windows.net is a suffix of my this particular storage account. Slash my container 1 where I have created the container, right? You remember just now I created the container slash my file name. That's it. So this is a URL. Everyone understood this URL? How to read this URL? Yes or no? Is it very trivial? Is it very difficult? Is it simple? Right? Everyone understood?
No.
Yes.
Yes, Raju.
No? Okay. Once again, I will tell you. No worries. So one thing you need to understand here is that first of all, your URL begins with your storage account name. What is my storage account name? This. Okay. One thing is clear. Okay. It starts with my storage account. Dot blob. What you are trying to access. That is the next thing. I am trying to access my blob data. So if any data present under the container, that will be denoted by a blob. That will be denoted by the blob. If it is file share, then it is dot file. Instead of blob, it will be dot file. If it is queues, then instead of queue file, it will be queue. Right? See, if it is a queue data, it will be queue. If it is table, then it will be table. Now you got it clear. Followed by, so in my case, what is the correct one? Okay. core.windows.net is a suffix of the storage. Means whatever be the URL, your URL always be completing with the .core.windows. Okay, clear now? Slash. So this is one URL of the Azure storage account. Now you are a person, you have reached to the storage account URL. Are you getting my point? What I'm saying? So this is your URL.
Yes.
Okay. Now I want to go inside my container, right? This container. What is my container name? My container name is container 0. Perfect. So this I get again slash. What is my file name? This is my file name. So this is what the URL is. Simple. Got it? So now if you got this thing, if you click on this screenshot 01, and if you copy paste this URL somewhere here in the browser, you will be getting something called this error. Means I have run this URL in my browser, but I am not able to access this URL. Then what should I do? Can anyone tell me? What should I do? What does this error means? Public access is not permitted on the storage. Anyone?
You didn't
So I need
give
to
you didn't give
connect.
access to, you didn't give access to the public when you were creating it.
Correct.
So
Correct. Yes. So we need to give the access. How we can give the access? We can come to this. There is something called as networking. Under the storage account, there's something called networking. Okay. But you can see that
Yes.
I have enabled access from everyone, right? It is already enabled. So what we will do here, there is something called as storage account configuration. So here, if you see here, under this tab only, you can see under this tab, if you come down, there is something called as configurations. Under the setting, there is something called as configuration. So here you can see allow blob anonymous access. Anonymous access means any person from the internet can access it. So it is now disabled. I need to and click on save. Okay. So it will take some time and your settings has been updated. Now anyone from this particular with this particular URL can access it. So if you go back, to this particular URL and if you type here, it will take some time to get it into the effect. Okay. So it will take some time, but I have enabled this particular allow blob anonymous access. Okay. So now I can be able to access it. You can see in some time it will be able to come. Right. Now, if I go to this containers, if I see here, now one more thing. So guys, what I did, I am repeating once again. I come to my storage account. I come to my storage this thing. I have gone down. There is something called as configuration. I click on configuration and I have allowed blob anonymous access. This is very interesting, guys. This is being asked in the your exam also. Okay. So even if I try once again, it is giving me the same error. Okay. So what should I do now? I will go down. There is something again in the containers I can come. Okay. I can select this container and I can click on change access level. I have changed the access level from here that is on to this whole storage account level I have changed. But I have not changed on my container level. Are you getting my point? Why am I getting this access? I have changed this setting on my whole storage account. I need to change on the container level also, right? Yes or no? Yes. So what I should go? I can come here to the container, select this container, change access level, and select to anonymous access. If anyone can access this container data and blob data. So if I click on OK, it will be changing my access level. Now, if you go back to this particular URL and if you hit enter, you will be able to see this page. Interesting. Understood, guys? I hope it is clear that giving access. So if you see here on this particular container and change access level, now if you put to container, anyone can able to access. Okay. So this is how we can manage to create the storage account as well as manage the data and their access level. Okay, but always remember that if in your corporate also, if in your working environment also, if you're facing some access issue related in the storage account, two things only you need to check. One, under the networking. Okay, sometimes what happens, the companies will be having this enable selected from the virtual network. Then you need to whitelist your virtual network over here. Okay, you need to whitelist your virtual network over here by clicking this option called as add existing virtual network. Okay, got it? And even if you want to whitelist your IP address of your system, you can whitelist over here in this particular location, this firewall. Okay, so those things you can do and click on save. Cool. So this is all about your storage account. I hope we are clear with it. Anyone having any doubt, guys?